Your ancestors spent 200,000 years starving. Not metaphorically starving. Actually starving. Foraging 12 hours a day just to find enough calories to survive until tomorrow. And then you walked into a gas station. And bought a candy bar. Your brain did not evolve for that. Your brain evolved for a world where sugar was rare, precious, and possibly the last meal you would ever see. So when you bite into something sweet, your nervous system does not say nice snack. It screams, find more. Now. Before winter kills us. That is not a character flaw. That is a survival program running on obsolete hardware. Today we are going to open the hood on that program and explain why modern supermarkets are basically a dopamine cheat code your DNA never saw coming. Picture a stick figure human on an empty savanna. No fridge. No delivery app. No just one more cookie. Every calorie had a cost. You burned energy to find energy. Sweet things, ripe fruit, honey, the occasional root, meant one thing, quick fuel before something with teeth found you first. So evolution did something clever. It wired your brain's reward system to treat sugar like a jackpot. Eat something sweet, dopamine floods your nucleus accumbens, and your brain stamps a memory, that location, that taste, do it again. This is not addiction in the modern sense. This is prioritization. In a calorie-scarce world, prioritizing sugar kept you alive. The problem is not the wiring. The problem is the world changed, and the wiring did not get the memo. Here is the first trap. People say sugar makes them happy. Biologically, that is wrong. Dopamine is not the chemical of pleasure. Dopamine is the chemical of hunt this again. It is anticipation. Pursuit. Craving. When you eat a donut, dopamine spikes, then crashes. Your brain interprets the crash as we are running low on the good stuff and sends you back to the pantry. That is why one cookie becomes 3. Your brain is not weak. It is doing exactly what 200,000 years of famine trained it to do, maximize calorie acquisition while the opportunity exists. Except the opportunity is always there now. And that is where the real heist begins. Not all sugar hits your brain the same way. Glucose, the sugar in bread and rice, triggers a feedback loop. Eat enough, and hormones like leptin eventually tap your brain on the shoulder and say, we are full. Stop. But fructose, the sugar-dominating soda, candy, and most processed snacks, takes a different route. It goes straight to your liver. And your liver does not send the same stop-eating signal back to your brain with the same urgency. Translation, you can drink a 40-ounce soda, 400 empty calories, and still feel hungry an hour later. Your brain thinks you found a miracle food source. Your liver is filing paperwork. Your waistline is wondering what happened. Here is where it gets uncomfortable. In the 1980s, food companies did not accidentally make snacks irresistible. They engineered them. The bliss point, the exact ratio of sugar, fat, and salt that maximizes dopamine without triggering fullness, is not a conspiracy theory. It is product development. Crunch. Melt. Sweet hit. Salt finish. Repeat. Every variable tuned so your brain says more before your stomach says enough. Walk down a grocery aisle and you are not choosing food. You are walking through a field of carefully calibrated dopamine triggers designed by people who understand your brain better than you do. And they are not evil cartoon villains. They are just very good at their jobs. So why can't you just stop? Because you are fighting neurochemistry with guilt. Willpower lives in your prefrontal cortex, the slow, rational, tired part of your brain that makes plans at midnight and breaks them at 3 p.m. Craving lives in older, faster circuits that do not negotiate. They fire before you finish the thought I shouldn't. Telling yourself to resist sugar with willpower alone is like telling a smoke alarm to be quieter while the kitchen is on fire. The alarm is working correctly. The kitchen is the problem. You do not need to quit sugar forever. You need to stop letting your famine brain run a modern supermarket. 3 moves that actually work with your biology, not against it. 1. Add friction. If the cookies are on the counter, you will eat them. Not because you are broken. Because your brain is efficient. Move temptation out of your default path. 2. Pair sugar with protein or fiber. A handful of almonds before the candy bar changes how fast glucose hits your bloodstream, and how hard the crash hits your dopamine. 3. Sleep. Sleep deprivation cranks up ghrelin, your hunger hormone, and dulls the prefrontal cortex that says no. The cheapest sugar fix is 8 hours in bed. You are not fighting weakness. You are updating software that was written for a world that no longer exists. So the next time you crush a bag of gummy bears and feel guilty, remember, your brain is not broken. It is a 200,000-year-old survival machine standing inside a 21st-century candy factory. The sugar trap is real. But now you know where the tripwire is. If this rewired how you see your pantry, subscribe to Wonders of Everything. Drop a comment, what is the one snack your brain will never negotiate on? See you next time and keep wondering.